So it's been a while since we've talked about someone on this channel being for the streets, and usually when these topics come up we're talking about the likes of Brittany Renner or even the GOAT herself, Larsa Pippen. But recently we've had a newcomer to the streets saga who might be giving these women a run for their money. It's only her rookie season, but there are already talks of her being in the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. It's almost like when LeBron first arrived on the scene and people were already calling him the chosen one. Her story has absolutely been setting the internet world on fire for the last week, as this married police officer named Maegan Hall was doing a whole lot more than protecting and serving her community while on the job.
A shocking investigation finding sexual relationships, sending explicit photos, and open marriages involving Laverne police officers. The city's report, obtained by WSMV through an open records request, says it all centered around Officer Maegan Hall, who was given the department's Community Service Award just back in August.
So just 5 months ago, this woman was given the department's Community Service Award. I mean, truly guys, I do believe that we're living in some sort of sick, twisted simulation. And the fact that they have them down on their knees in this very picture while receiving this Community Service Award, which only God knows what these people had to do to receive this, it's just like the perfect chef's kiss of foolishness to start off this new year.
The report says Hall had unreported sexual relationships with
Jesus
six other
Christ,
officers.
Man. Look how many times. Well, of course it wasn't being reported by leadership. They were the ones piping her out. My fellow Americans, that's where your tax dollars are going.
Some of which happened while at work. The report also mentions a Girls Gone Wild type party on the houseboat of Laverne FOP President Eric Statz.
Oh, damn.
The city spokesperson confirmed.
They're wilding out here at the police department, guys. They said, oh, we need some booze money for this Girls Gone Wild style party? Just take it right out the homeless fund, take it right out the welfare fund, screw it.
Additional details cannot be released at this time due to the ongoing investigation.
They said additional details cannot be released while we are investigating ourselves. I mean, for them to even talk about this publicly and for it to become such a big story, someone must have been about to talk because, you know, the police, they're always doing these investigations on themselves and like, hey, we didn't find nothing wrong.
Report obtained by WSMV says Hall and all of the men admitted to the relationships. Another officer also admitted to workplace violence for choking a staff member who was sitting at her desk.
Wow, guys, it sounds like an amazing place to work. I mean, seriously, they must have caught them in some sort of 240p. You know, they went and parked in some dark alley. They got up on the hood. They forgot to turn off the body cam. They forgot to turn off the dash cam. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this type of thing was happening all the time when it comes to the police force. Personally, I had a really good friend when I was a kid. All of a sudden, when we turned like 13 or 14 years old, his dad became a police officer. And it was like he simultaneously became a huge asshole. And he cheated on my friend's mom with his patrol partner. And here's just some additional information about the other officers who were involved in this whole scandal.
An internal investigative report documents explicit and graphic detail of officers involved in sexual misconduct, some of it happening while on duty and on city property. 5 have been fired.
Wild.
Patrol Officer Maegan Hall, Patrol Officer Juan Lugo Perez, Sergeant Lewis Powell, Detective Seneca Shields, and Sergeant Henry Ty McGowan.
Well, hey guys, at least we know that she didn't discriminate. All shades, all colors, they were good with her. Like I said, she was married to this guy. Apparently, he's been cool with it ever since these reports came out. I mean, just in him saying that all this was all good, I think he might be the type of guy who likes to have his little chair in the corner, if you know what I'm saying.
3 others have been suspended: K-9 Officer Larry Holliday, Patrol Officer Patrick Magliocco, and Patrol Officer Gavin Schulberl.
I mean, yeah, you just look at all these different guys, and it's such like a wide variety of different looking men. And that just really tells me that you couldn't trust her around absolutely anyone or anything. I mean, she gets around one of those handsome pit bulls, it might be all over.
Hobbs says details of the investigation made public so far have shaken public confidence in the PD.
There's definitely going to be a time period where we're going to have to really emphasize rebuilding the trust of our community. Yeah.
Police Chief Chip Davis issued a statement saying, in part, the actions of a few do not represent the entire department. The situation will be
Yeah, it was only like 8 people in y'all's small department. I mean, I have to think that that's a pretty good percentage of the people that work there. And this is just the ones who actually were dumb enough to get caught. Like I said, something tells me that this type of stuff is happening all the time behind the scenes.
The situation will be addressed internally and that counselors are being brought in to help officers. He also says there is sufficient staff remaining to cover all patrol shifts.
Well, yeah, I would think they would still have a sufficient enough force to go out there and solve all these crimes, because the only thing those men were patrolling was that ass. Isn't it also crazy to know that it isn't even sloppy seconds? It isn't even some sort of third round of leftovers like when it's Thanksgiving or something like that. I mean, you had at least 8 Eskimo brothers on the same police force. Talk about a bonding experience. And then I went back and I found some pretty hilarious things on Twitter. This is from August of 2021. It's actually Officer Maegan Hall being sworn in. I'm telling you guys, from day one, this woman is ready to protect and serve. I mean, seriously, just look at this picture right here. He's giving her the little badge, and she's already plotting on my boy. Even just this picture itself tells me that this woman might have had more than 8 victims. And then I went and found the actual Facebook post when they're talking about these award recipients there at that police department. Like I already said, this was from around 6 months ago. And there she is, Community Service Award, Officer Maegan Hall. Out here serving the whole goddamn precinct, okay? And am I the only one that finds these photo ops to be very strange? Like, why is everyone who won an award down on their knees like that? It's just such a strange pose, man. Why is everyone down on their knees? You know, it's one thing if you're taking like a team picture and they got you down on like one knee, but being down on 2 knees doing absolutely anything is just a crazy look. In fact, this picture right here might be the most insane. Okay, never mind, I found one that was worse. Is that the face you make when you weren't invited to the group shagging? You know, guys, I'm just so glad at this time we have leaders like this that we can trust. You know there's a reason for that big smile on his face. I think our guy in the background knows a little too much. He's like, save yourself before it's too late. And look, guys, she's even in here posing with the wedding ring. They probably met this woman's husband on multiple occasions. They probably shook his hand. They told him, oh, she's one of the hardest working on this police force. She'll do anything for the squad. I found this article where they talk about her apparent husband's reaction to all of this information. Apparently, this guy is the son of a pastor, and he wasn't on board with the whole open marriage thing. But he's also not gonna fault her for her more than disgusting actions, saying that he's still gonna try and save his marriage. Which to me, that ship has really sailed. And we also find out this guy is a former state park ranger. Like I said, he just looks like a chair in the corner type of guy to me. Even his boss had to come out and say, I don't know how he's doing it. He's more of a man than I am, but he's trying to salvage that marriage. You know, guys, I don't think this is what they meant when they said to back the blue. I mean, honestly, I think if you had one of those lame-ass stickers on your car, and this chick ended up pulling you over, all I'm saying is you might end up having an interaction to tell the boys about. And she's actually already made a comment about the whole thing. They say that she seemed relatively unfazed by this story going so viral. And in her statement, she says, I don't want to discuss it. I'm just gonna move on and live my life, goddamn. You'll likely see her over at the grocery store tonight with an upside down pineapple if you look hard enough. They say it was going down in hotel rooms, at other officers' houses. One incident even took place on a boat. This man right here was allegedly hitting it. A part of the K9 unit that German Shepherd was probably saying in the back like, yo, it smells f***ing crazy in here. And then I just continued to find other wild stuff on Twitter like this video of her riding a mechanical bull in her police uniform. And the caption says, she knows how to ride. I mean, you can't tell me they didn't set this whole thing up just for her. I imagine it was some sort of family fun day. Everyone's saying, oh, she's so good, she's so awesome. And then when this story came out, they're like, oh, that's why it took her so long to fall off. Some other classic memes, you know, instead of thank you for your service, they're saying thank you for that cervix. This one's probably my favorite when your manager says we have a new team building activity, and then there's the team building activity. And all I really gotta say is, guys, that there's really no winners here. Not the hard-working taxpayers who were paying for this with their dime. Not this disgusting woman who lost her job and all her dignity in 5 seconds. Not the 7 guys who were caught with this woman, 4 of which were already fired from the police force. And definitely not that poor park ranger husband of hers. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Have some respect for yourself. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this crazy story down below. I mean, this really paints the expression to protect and serve to a whole new light. As you guys know, it's been your boy Tan Superman, and some other super freaks out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!